Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my third book recommendations video for this year. So it is March and I wanted to share with you a few books that I read this month that I feel that will be helpful to you. Now the two books that I'm going to recommend to you, I feel are books that if you want to step up your game in your life, in your personal or professional life, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to do things differently or see things differently, then these are the books for you to read. So I'll just get into the books right now because I know that you're here mainly to hear what are the suggestions and recommendations and why I'm recommending those books. The first book that I would like to recommend is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Dash by Mark Manson. Now don't let the title of this book, sorry, I just threw the book there. Don't let the title of this book put you off from reading this book or think that this book is not as serious as it should be. It is a very to the point written book. It is a really colloquially written book. So it is written by a person who was a blogger and is a blogger, and so it is written in that everyday kind of language, and so that language shouldn't stop you from taking this book seriously. Now this book has a lot that it gives and a lot that it talks about, and when I was reading this book there were a lot of tidbits here and there that I wanted to note down and think about later. But the main thing that he's trying to say is not that you shouldn't be caring about anything, that you shouldn't care about things. He's trying to say that we as humans care about the wrong things and we should be caring about certain other things. And so that's what the whole premise of this book is all about, that what are we caring about? Because he says that if you care about certain things in your life and if you give a lot of value to these certain things, that often means that you're not giving value to certain other things. And the things that we normally give value to is wanting happiness, wanting success, we want to be right all the time, we give value to our ego, and these are certain things that we give a lot of value to. And so when those things come up in our life, somebody hurts our ego, for example, we take it in a very bad way, we get offended, we spend a lot of time festering in that emotion of hurt and anger, and that means that all that time that was spent thinking about how somebody hurt our ego and how dare somebody do that to us was taken away from something that would have been more valuable to us, and if we had given it that attention. It's always a balance we need to find between things that should matter and things that we tend to feel matters. And so he says that we need to figure out what really matters to us and then ensure that we are giving our energy, our time, our emotion to only those things. And that's the basic overall overarching premise of this book, but there's a lot more in every chapter that you might find applies to your life. There are certain things that you might already know, but getting it reiterated is also important. And it's a very short book, it's a short read, and it's not very hard to understand. It's very simple, to the point, written in a kind of blog style, which makes it very easy to understand, makes it very relatable. And I think that if you really want to get to that space where you know for sure that this is what matters in my life and this is what doesn't matter, then you can step up your game, as I said in the beginning, and focus only on the things that matter, and anything else is just a distraction. And so this is why I would recommend this book. Now the second book that I would like to recommend is Linchpin by Seth Godin, and I've been reading and kind of rereading this book on Audible because there's certain parts and chapters that I wanted to go back to, and so this is the book. Yeah, this is Linchpin by Seth Godin. Now, I've heard a lot about this book, especially in the business context, and I thought that I should give this book a listen. And I started reading this book or listening to this book, and the whole point of this book can be summarized in one word, and that is linchpin. And a linchpin is a person who is somebody so important and indispensable in an organization that only they can do what they do. Now this is not in a very braggy way, it's not in a very egotistical way, but it just tries to explain the fact that anybody can be just a normal person doing a very routine job, and not do the thinking, not do the processing themselves, just do what they're told and just get by doing that. But it takes a person who thinks differently, who thinks more efficiently, who puts themselves into what they're doing to actually become a linchpin and to actually become indispensable. Now, I don't believe that there are only very few linchpins in the world. I believe that everybody has the capacity and capability to become a linchpin, to become indispensable to a certain extent. And that extent is determined by your skills and knowledge and wisdom and brain capacity and intellect. What Seth Godin is trying to say is that in today's world, we need more people who are not just doing the bare minimum, but who are getting involved in the work and making themselves an integral part of the work they do and in the community they do that work in. We need to solidify ourselves by our intellect. We need to be able to offer our thinking rather than just the work that we do, because the work that we do, if it is just based on instructions that we receive, anybody can do it. Because if somebody can instruct you or somebody can instruct me, then obviously that somebody can instruct somebody else and get the job done. But what can I offer to the job? I feel that it's not only for your job, but in anything in life, we need to make ourselves indispensable, not because we need to showcase ourselves as great, but because we have something unique that we can offer to the world. We have something that is uniquely us that we can offer to the world, and we need to offer to the world. And that's what being a linchpin is all about. And so that's the basic premise of this whole book. He talks a lot about this, and he talks about why we are the way we are, and he explains a lot of it. And for somebody who got the point right at the beginning, it might feel a little repetitive. So for me, there were certain parts of the book that I enjoyed because I wanted to get to the point. But if you're someone who wants to understand why and get into the depth of it, then you need to read the whole book, and I think it will be very helpful for you. So these are my 2 recommendations for this month. Both these books, I believe, will enable you to break free from the boundaries that you create for yourself unintentionally, because many a times we create certain boundaries for ourselves which we are not even aware of. We think that this is the way we are supposed to do things. We think that it's always been done this way, so why should I need to shake things up, and why do I need to question it? Who am I to question it? There are a lot of fears in us that stop us from doing things. There are a lot of anxiety in us that stop us from doing things. There's a lot of ego in us that stops us from doing things. And so when we create such boundaries for ourselves, we are not letting ourselves go, we're not letting ourselves be. And so these 2 books, I feel, are going to enable you. If you're at this stage in your life, these will enable you to go here and probably even here, because they're really thought-provoking. They make you think deeper, make you be more self-aware, they make you question what you might not have questioned before. So if this is something that you're looking for, if you want this year to be different than all the other years before, if you don't want to end 2019 feeling that you're still stuck in the year, that you've not really moved forward, that you might as well still be in 2018, then these 2 books are for you. So I hope these book recommendations were useful to you. If you're looking to improve your life, I think reading is the way to go. And as I read, as I learn, as I grow, I think sharing the books that changed my life, even in a little way, is important. And I hope that my doing this video was useful for you. I really hope that together all of us can expand our mind, explore the world around us, and grow into very evolved human beings.